Let's dive into why so many chart analysts are buzzing with optimism right now. This market might finally be gearing up for a real move. For weeks, we've been stuck in this loop of sideways and downward trends. It's been dragging its feet, and let's face it, for some it's getting a bit dull. I get it. Not everyone finds the current price action thrilling, but I've always believed there's a hidden excitement in these quiet phases. Sure, some may find it boring, but ranges like this don't last forever. Tired of fake gurus who claim to be expert traders but never trade live? I trade live on the second largest crypto exchange, where everything is transparent and results can't be faked. For over 440 days, I've consistently closed every month in profit. In the last 90 days alone, my followers have earned over $34,000 in profits, with only 4% drawdown. Verified results, not empty claims. Want to see my verified stats? Click the first link in my profile and start copying my trades for free today. They're just the calm before the storm. Sometimes these ranges stretch on, testing our patience, and other times they break faster than we expect. Either way, change is inevitable, and that's where the excitement lies. As we edge further into the later stages of a true bull market, history reminds us of one thing: don't get too comfortable in the current range. It's foolish to think XRP, Bitcoin, or any crypto will just sit in this zone forever. That's not even up for debate. It's just not how markets work. So the real question is, what comes next? Will the next big move be a dramatic crash, or will XRP surge to yet another all-time high? Remember, it's already smashed an all-time high this cycle. So let's take a moment to acknowledge it. We were right. The skeptics were wrong. Victory is ours. But will XRP hit another historic level? Well, considering we're not seeing those top-out signals yet, I'd argue there's compelling evidence that a major reversal could be on the horizon. Yes, we're in the range now, but signs are pointing to something much bigger brewing, a potential breakout to new heights. Before we dive deeper though, let me be absolutely clear. I'm not a financial advisor. I have zero formal background in finance. Nothing I say or write is financial advice, so don't base your buying or selling decisions on my words alone. Always do your own research. Imagine waking up, grabbing your phone, and bam, the market's on fire, XRP soaring. We're in that moment where any random day could deliver the excitement you've been waiting for. Sure, during a bear market, you'd still hope for a pop, but let's be honest, you'd be waiting a lot longer. Not now. No. History tells us this is the time when things heat up, and I don't see why this time would be any different. Right now, as I'm recording, XRP sits at $2.42, while Bitcoin is an eye-popping $86,520. Today, the market made some noise. XRP hit $2.50, with Bitcoin spiking to $88,638. Buckle up, because this ride might just be getting started. Alright, so the market's dipped a bit, but honestly, no big deal. For anyone curious, quick note, it's 12:47 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm traveling, currently somewhere in Georgia, and my entire sense of time is shot. What day is it? Oh yeah, Tuesday. Living out of a suitcase has everything blending together. Anyway, it's officially Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. Markets are down slightly, but here's the thing. It's actually looking pretty promising. Did you catch the latest video from the blockchain backer yesterday afternoon? If not, you need to. The big takeaway? Strength is making a comeback as Bitcoin, XRP, and the altcoin market bounce back alongside a stock market recovery. His confidence in XRP hitting new all-time highs and entering price discovery mode, completely unwavering. So if you haven't seen the video, do yourself a favor and check it out. He's not the type to make bold predictions. You won't hear him claiming to know exactly when something will happen. And honestly, that's the smart way to go. The closest he'll get is pointing to past patterns saying, if history rhymes, here's a possible scenario. It's a cautious, thoughtful approach. In one of his videos, he mentioned that if this trend holds, we might need to wait a couple more weeks. But hey, no guarantees. History rhymes, it doesn't repeat exactly. Still, the trajectory remains upward in the long run. And check this out, the stock market bounced back. The Russell 2000 jumped 2.55%. Sure, in the world of crypto, that's more of a baby step, but it's still worth noting. Progress is progress, after all. That's a big deal when we're talking about equities, especially the Russell 2000, an index tracking small-cap stocks. Why does that matter? Because when it climbs, it signals widening market participation. In other words, the rally isn't just limited to the big players. It's spreading. Think of it like money isn't just pouring into the massive, safe, large caps anymore. It's taking a chance on the smaller ones too. Now, apply that same idea to crypto. It's like seeing the flow of money move beyond Bitcoin into altcoins. When that starts happening, it's a sign the whole ecosystem is waking up. And considering these asset classes do tend to move in sync, it wouldn't be surprising to see crypto riding this wave in a big way. Aketeges Utvanut Sazad Sazalek Ugras? That's no small feat. It's a big day, no doubt about it. After weeks of the market taking a hit, it's no surprise to finally see some signs of recovery. Markets always find a floor eventually. Check it out. The S&P 500 is up 1.76%, and the Nasdaq 100 is climbing with a 2.19% gain. But what's driving this bounce? Let's dive into a headline from the Daily Huddle, and hang tight because in just a couple of minutes, we'll get into some XRP specific insights. Now here's the deal. While I always emphasize that much of the crypto market's daily volatility comes from people FOMOing, panicking, and copying each other, global dynamics do play a role. They absolutely matter. Take Trump, for instance. His ongoing negotiations, trade threats, and tariff talk have been shaking things up. And by the way, those tariffs, they're not just empty threats. He'll follow through. I'm confident he will. Of course, that kind of uncertainty makes markets jittery, and they hate uncertainty. But let's be real, Trump isn't going to keep this up for the next 4 years. It's a negotiating tactic, plain and simple. Whether you're for or against tariffs, it's all part of the broader game. Stay tuned, because understanding these moves gives context to why the markets are behaving the way they are. I'm not here to dive into a big debate about this, but here's the deal. It's happening, and it's having a real impact on both the stock market and the crypto space. Check out this headline. Bitcoin and stock market rally hard as White House narrows scope of tariffs. Digital assets and equities are soaring at the weekly open, riding a wave of new optimism. The White House is shifting to a softer stance on tariffs, sparking renewed confidence. While the earlier tariff threats triggered one of the sharpest stock market drops in recent memory, reports now hint that President Trump's aggressive trade negotiations might be heading toward a smoother resolution. To me, it always felt like we were heading in this direction. Sure, it might get a little messy along the way, but let's be real. Trump's approach here seems pretty pragmatic. It's clear he's using this as a tough negotiation tactic, and while it's not exactly smooth sailing, it's not going to drag on forever. He's pushing certain nations to budge, and there's a strategy behind it, even if it's not immediately obvious. Now, I'm not going to dive too deep into the nitty-gritty of tariffs or their validity. That's a whole other conversation. For now, let's just acknowledge this is happening. It's a factor. And yes, both the crypto markets and the stock market have felt the weight of this. But here's the thing, it's temporary. Look at how much crypto has dipped in recent weeks, and yet we're still sitting at these levels. That's wild. And let's not forget, the big blow-off top moment, it hasn't even happened yet. This is the kind of news that gets my gears turning. So here's the scoop. Peace continues to cite US officials in the know, with Bloomberg reporting that Trump's new reciprocal tariffs might not be as broad-brushed as expected. Instead, they're shaping up to be more tactical, with some countries getting a pass and certain sector-specific tariffs being postponed by the White House. The Wall Street Journal echoed similar updates. Meanwhile, markets kicked off the week in high spirits. All major indices surged, and Bitcoin gained 3% today, now sitting 15% higher than its 2025 low of $76,500. Tobin Marcus from Wolfe Research shared a note with CNBC, explaining that dropping the sectoral tariffs from the April 2nd package could significantly soften the blow. This move reduces both the overall scale of the tariffs and the maximum rates on targeted sectors, he pointed out. It's clear that Trump's tariff game is designed to keep raising the stakes for reciprocal tariffs, making the April 2nd rollout still a dramatic moment. Marcus added, "We still anticipate a negative market reaction, but the impact won't be as severe, and the sectoral consequences won't be as concentrated." What's next? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Things can always take a sharp turn in this ever-changing economic chess game. Let me put it this way, when the market knows what's coming and can plan accordingly, the chances of a reversal skyrocket. It's like the calm before the storm. Think about how markets always hold their breath before major events, like an election. Remember November in the US? Once the dust settled, confidence soared, funds started moving, and liquidity poured in. And you know exactly where it went. You saw it happen, didn't you? It's exciting to watch it unfold. The real question is just, when will it happen again? Speaking of timing, Here's a fresh post from chart analyst Jelly. He mentioned reclaiming $90,000 on Bitcoin as the trigger point, the moment where the real excitement begins. He sees this as a crucial level to keep an eye on, predicting a significant breakout to follow. Big things are brewing. Over to Mikey Bull Crypto's latest post. USDT dominance is crashing hard. What does that mean? It's bullish news for Bitcoin and altcoins. As Tether dominance declines, funds typically flow into altcoins, a strong signal for optimism in the market. Meanwhile, Crypto Insight UK shares an intriguing stat. XRP has only ever broken and held above multi-year resistance once, in 2017. And guess what? That year, XRP became one of the top gainers in the market. If anyone says otherwise, they're likely just biased against this asset. This isn't hype, it's fact. Believe it or not, the last time this happened was back in 2017, and when XRP broke above a long-term resistance level then, it skyrocketed. I don't think this time will be any different. In fact, I'm convinced this thing is about to take off way, way higher. It's already outpacing Bitcoin and Ethereum at this point in the cycle. But by the time this run is over, I think it's going to leave them in the dust. The peak? I'm betting it'll blow past what anyone's expecting right now. That's my take. No hard price predictions here, I could be wrong. After all, I'm just some guy on the internet sharing his opinion. But I've been watching these markets for years, and my gut tells me this is far from over. Buckle up, because I think the real action is just beginning. We're not seeing the usual indicators from past cycles, but here's an intriguing take from chart analyst Bobby A. According to him, if XRP hits a peak between $8 and $13, then XLM Stellar Lumens could follow with a peak of $2.50 to $3.75. The charts for XRP and XLM, strikingly similar, almost like twins. Speculators across the globe seem to treat them as such, and it's fascinating to watch. This wasn't always the case, though. I wanted to spotlight Bobby A., one of the sharp analysts who accurately called XRP's recent breakout. His confidence remains unshaken, even during this consolidation phase. He firmly believes XRP could peak again in the $8 to $13 range, calling it a key profit-taking zone. While he doesn't rule out the possibility of going higher, Bobby's prediction is grounded and worth paying attention to. That's way higher than what we're seeing now, but there's historical precedent for this kind of move in crypto. Broadly speaking, I think we're on the brink of a major price discovery moment. Think explosive gains, face-melting action, the whole 9 yards. We're almost there, closer than ever before. Just a little more patience. Let me share a post from Dark Defender, a well-known chart analyst. He says XRP looks fantastic, targeting $2.75 first, with a slight roadblock at $2.55, and solid support around $2.42, right near where we are now. After that, a climb toward $5.85. His confidence hasn't wavered. Dark Defender also nailed the prediction that XRP would break free from its nearly 7-year symmetrical triangle. And here we are, on the cusp, but not quite done yet. It's easy to feel impatient, and that's okay. Feel what you need to feel. But seasoned analysts like these have weathered years of crypto waves. This aligns perfectly with expectations. Nothing unusual here. Speaking of, here's another post from chart analyst Dom. XRP monthly update. The battle is on to hold that 6-year resistance as new support. With 7 days left to close the month above $2.70, the stage could be set for the next explosive move upward. Conviction remains strong. Another big move is coming. It's just a game of patience now. $2.70 is the level to watch. And here's the wild part. It already broke out and is holding firm above a major resistance zone, which has now flipped to support. That's huge. And let's not forget, we haven't even seen the blow off top yet. This ride is far from over, and things could get crazier before this cycle wraps up. Shout out to chart analyst Steph, who nailed the breakout call. XRP's story is far from done. He's convinced XRP has hit the bottom. Lately, it's all he's been talking about. His message? Now send it. And he's absolutely expecting XRP to soar into double digits. So, let's watch and see. No one can say for sure. I'll be the first to admit, I don't know the future, but my conviction is solid and backed by reason. I believe XRP will climb much, much higher before the inevitable market crash sends us into a bear market. It's going to happen eventually, but not without that blow off top first. History shows us every crypto cycle includes that crucial rotation phase, and I just don't see this cycle being any different. So, yeah, I truly believe the best is yet to come. Now let me say this loud and clear. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't buy or sell based on anything I say or write. Seriously, that would be a very bad idea.